I'm just happy we got some good basketball. Game 5 of the NBA Finals, best game of the series so far, one of the best playoff games all postseason so far. Let's talk about Game 5 and what's going to happen moving forward in the NBA Finals.
DreAllDay.com.
What up, everybody? Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. It is 12:03 a.m. Monday night, also known as Tuesday morning. And, y'all saw the game. Kyrie Irving just went off. First of all, LeBron James was killing in the first half. Kyrie Irving went off. Klay Thompson was killing in the first half. Steph Curry had a pretty good game. His performance got outshined by his teammate Klay Thompson and by the fact that his team lost the game. But this was a good overall basketball game. The funny thing is, between both teams, only 6 people scored in double figures total amongst all the players from both teams. And one of those 6 people had 15 points and the other one had 10 points. And the one who had 10 points, you probably didn't even notice his 10. And the one who had 15, you could probably barely notice his 15. So really, it was 2-on-2. It was LeBron and Kyrie against Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. And LeBron and Kyrie this time won the game. So as far as what happened in Game 5, my video from Game 4, I said it looked like that Cleveland was pretty much done. Going back to Golden State, I didn't see a way that Cleveland could go on the road and win a game. But then what happened after I made my video 2 days later, I think it was on Sunday, they announced it that Draymond Green had got suspended for Game 5, which opened things up for Cleveland because without Draymond Green, even though he's not the best player on the Golden State Warriors, he is an all-star and he's the guy who's kind of like the Swiss Army knife guarding everybody, especially LeBron James, trying to get in LeBron's head or whatever he considers himself doing. He's doing something good. Draymond Green's an all-star. He's a great player. So if you take an all-star off a team that's in the NBA Finals, that's going to greatly affect that team. I don't care even if he's only the third best or second best, depending on how you think, your opinion, all-star on that team. Him not being there was a big factor for Golden State, despite the fact they had Andre Iguodala. The thing about the Warriors when they do have Draymond is that Andre Iguodala is another weapon they got. But now without Draymond, they got to put Iggy in the starting lineup. They don't have no weapon to bring off the bench because Iggy's already in the game. So missing Draymond was a big miss for the Golden State Warriors. As far as Draymond Green goes, part of his personality is getting people riled up, getting himself riled up, getting his team riled up. So he does a lot of shit talking. He does some extracurricular stuff. I thought he was going to get suspended for the Steven Adams one, which was, to me, worse than what happened with LeBron James. But they got it on camera. Nowadays, everything's on camera. So anything you do is going to get caught. Even the things you say, they got on camera. They got people lip syncing and all this, or not lip syncing, lip reading what people are saying. So Draymond is his greatest strength and sometimes his biggest weakness, and it cost his team, I think, cost him a chance to win the NBA championship tonight. If he had played tonight, I think they would have won this game. But he didn't play, and the Cleveland Cavaliers came out and won. So now we got a 3-2 series. Final score, Cleveland 112, Golden State 97. The score was tied at halftime, and then Cleveland came and kind of jumped on Golden State's ass, outscoring them by 9 points in the third quarter. It wasn't even a close 9 points. Cleveland really had control of the game. It wasn't even so much the actual point total, it was just the way they did it. Cleveland really took control of the game in the third quarter, and it was a high-scoring game. A lot of points being scored. Both teams with, 90-something points after 3 quarters, or close to 90 points after 3 quarters. Fourth quarter was the only low-scoring quarter, and the Cavs outscored them there, too, pretty much put it away. And the main thing that I'm noticing here between Cleveland and Golden State is the shooting percentage. The shooting percentage. Cleveland Cavaliers shot 53% from the floor tonight. And it's probably no small coincidence that Kyrie Irving and LeBron James was the 2 people taking most of the shots. And they were kind of actually getting the kind of shots that they wanted to take tonight. And we're going to talk about that in a moment. Golden State only shot 36% from the floor. So let's look at the losing team, the Golden State Warriors, first. And what the Warriors did tonight is they got all of their production, scoring-wise, you might as well say all their production, period, from Klay Thompson and Stephen Curry. Klay with 37. He was on fire in the first half. Y'all saw that. Made all his free throws, 6 of 11 from 3. Steph was 5 of 14 from 3. He's had games like that. He still scored 25 points on 21 shots. It wasn't a great game for Steph Curry. It wasn't a terrible game, but it wasn't a great game for him. Otherwise, nobody was making any shots. Andre Iguodala started. He 6 of 13 from the floor, 6 assists, 11 rebounds. Iguodala is that great, everything guy. It's kind of like garbage man, but he's like a prettier version of the garbage man. Iguodala played great. Had 2 steals on top of that. Great all-around game. If you would have had him coming off the bench with that same stat line and Draymond Green's performance, then this could have been an entirely different basketball game. So that's why I think Draymond missing was a huge difference for the Warriors. Probably, in my opinion, difference in them possibly winning this game tonight. And not only that, not only the numbers-wise, but just the energy he brings to the floor and what he could have done to try to slow down LeBron James. Not to say he would have stopped him, but to try to slow him down. He would have had some effect. Andrew Bogut, 7 minutes. He went down with looked like a knee injury. Hopefully he's okay. Harrison Barnes, he played 37 minutes. He was 2 of 14 from the floor, 1 of 6 from 3. He was just missing. It seemed like every time I looked up, Harrison Barnes was open for a shot, and he shot it, and it didn't go in. So he really had offensively, he had a J.R. Smith type of game. And this is actually kind of game the Cavs might hope J.R. Smith has. At least he's shooting the ball. Harrison was getting his shots, 2 of 14 from the floor. He just wasn't making anything. He even missed both of the free throws he shot. Steph Curry, again, I said 25. Nobody off the bench did more than, Sean Livingston came in and actually had some good stats. He scored 7 points, had 3 assists, 4 rebounds. He even dunked on Richard Jefferson, which was a nice highlight there. Should have been an N1. He got a nice dunk on Richard Jefferson. Andy Varejao came in, drew a couple of fouls, had a couple of flops. He had a near-death ear injury when he got hit on the side of his head and he collapsed in the corner there as if somebody had shot him on the side of his head. But he didn't fool the refs. The refs were not fooled. So that's pretty much all that happened for the Golden State Warriors. On the Cleveland Cavaliers side, you want to know something? Even less happened on their side. Just the thing that did happen was done by only 2 people. So let's look at everybody else. Kevin Love, 32 minutes, 2 points, 1 of 5 from the floor, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 fouls, 2 turnovers. Kevin Love might not need to be playing anymore in this series. He might need to not be in the game. The problem for the Cleveland Cavaliers is if you take Kevin Love out of the game, who do you put into the game? You don't really have anyone else to put in the game who can take up some space in the paint. That's one thing Kevin Love does. He takes up space in the paint. He ain't doing nothing. He ain't scoring no points. He ain't really stopping nobody on D, but he takes up some space down there. So maybe, just maybe, the Cavs can get more rebounds defensively. Even if he's not the one grabbing them, he takes up some space to let the high flyers like LeBron James come in there and swoop in and grab some rebounds. Even Richard Jefferson come in there, swoop and grab some rebounds. Richard Jefferson only played 14 minutes, but he scored 8 points, had 3 steals, did have 3 turnovers too, got dunked on once. But his energy, he brings a certain type of veteran, grizzled energy to the team. So he at least brings that. Iman Shumpert, 25 minutes. He didn't do much stat-wise, but he scored 4 points. He didn't hurt the Cavs. He didn't really help offensively, but he didn't hurt. Defensively, he didn't make too many mistakes. It was more J.R. Smith and Kyrie Irving were making the mistakes that allowed Klay Thompson to cook them the way he did in the first half. Save for the shots Klay was actually creating off the bounce, and the fact that Klay actually had to make those shots. So not to take anything away from Klay Thompson. J.R. Smith gave you 10 points in the starting lineup, 3 of 9 from the floor, made all his free throws, made 1 of 2 from deep. He didn't really do much of anything either besides that. So let's talk about the 2 stars of the show tonight, Kyrie Irving and LeBron James. First of all, LeBron James, 42 minutes, scored 41 points, 16 of 30 from the floor. So he's getting the shots, and he was making a high percentage of his shots, and he was making the threes, 4 of 8 from downtown. If LeBron James feels comfortable making 3-pointers or jump shots, period, then he's a damn tough guy to defend. It's pretty much not much you can do to stop a guy like LeBron James if he can make an outside shot. He's confident in it. 16 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks, only 2 turnovers, and his 2 turnovers were definitely preventable. He turned the ball over the very first play of the game on offense. Andre Iguodala stripped him. Then later in the game, he tried to dribble on Harrison Barnes, and Harrison Barnes stripped him. Those 2 turnovers were completely preventable. Great game by LeBron James. This is a great LeBron James game. And had it not been for all the points Kyrie Irving is scoring, LeBron probably could have got up around 50, probably would have got a triple-double with the assist. But I tweeted at the beginning of this game that we're going to get it 32, 14, and 12 out of LeBron tonight. He came pretty damn close. Outdid me in points and rebounds. Came up short in the assist, but he made up for it with his steals and his blocks and with his points and rebounds, the way that he outdid it. So a hell of a game by LeBron. 41, 16, and 7, 3 steals and 3 blocks. Any player in the NBA playing right now put up a stat line like that, we're going to be talking about for a week. LeBron does it so often, it's just like a normal thing. But let's talk about the other guy who kind of stole the show here, despite the fact he had the exact same number of points. But I don't think we were expecting as much from this guy as we were from LeBron James, because everything's on LeBron, whether they win or lose. Kyrie Irving. Uncle Drew, 41 points, 17 of 24 from the floor, 17 of 24. That man was on fire tonight. Now, LeBron was 16 of 30. You could just say he had a good game. He had entire seasons in Miami where he was shooting that area of percentage. But 17 of 24 from the floor by Kyrie Irving, that's around 66% roughly. Kyrie over 66%. That's almost 70% from the floor that Kyrie Irving shot. That doesn't happen on a nightly basis for any point guard playing in the NBA. Not anyone who's scoring over 20 points a game. 5 of 7 from 3. Made his free throws. 6 assists. 3 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block, 4 turnovers. Kyrie Irving was absolutely on fucking fire. I mean, he was going into the post. He was pulling his step backs over Klay Thompson, who has several inches of height over Kyrie Irving. He had a couple easy buckets that he got off a steal, a couple drives to the basket. Not many of them was easy, only 1 or 2 easy buckets. Hitting 3-pointers off the bounce, and he just started attacking. Kyrie Irving went into attack mode. I don't know what kind of mode he was in the first 2 games of the finals. He wasn't attacking. I don't know why he wasn't attacking, but he was not attacking off the bounce against Curry or Klay. But in this game, he was actually attacking. He was getting the ball and just going at the guy who was guarding him, looking to create his shot, whether it was from the outside or it was from the inside. And he was making his shots. And he was making his shots. Kyrie Irving likes to shoot long 2s. Sometimes he'll pull up for 3 off the bounce in transition sometimes, or even off the inbounds pass. He'll pull up for the 3 coming down the court on offense. And sometimes they look like bad shots when they don't go in, but when they go in, they look great. And that's his game. That's really his game. And if the Cavs are going to compete based on what we saw tonight from the rest of their team, I mean, Kyrie Irving's pretty much going to have to play like this. I don't know if him and LeBron both going to have to score 40, and I don't know if Kyrie's going to shoot damn near 70% from the floor again, but he has to attack. He has to play Kyrie Irving attacking basketball. And him and LeBron James, nobody on the Cavs besides J.R. Smith shot the ball more than 6 times. Richard Jefferson was 4 of 6. J.R. was 3 of 9. Nobody else shot the ball more than that. LeBron shot 30 times. Kyrie shot 24 times. I mean, that's pretty much how they're going to have to play to win. Tristan Thompson actually had a good game. He didn't score much. Got to the line for 10 free throws, but he was missing a lot of them. Had 15 rebounds. That was big for the Cavs too. We can't discount those rebounds. Rebounds are big. And he had 12 rebounds on the defensive side of the ball, which he rarely does. A lot of times he doesn't grab a lot of defensive rebounds. He grabs kind of like an equal number, let's say, offense and defense. You would expect the guys athletic and long as him to grab more on D, and he did that tonight. So overall, I mean, that's pretty much what happened stat-wise, but let's just talk what happened subjectively in this game. Number one thing, biggest difference, 2 big differences. One on the Warriors side, one on the Cavs side. On the Warriors side, they didn't have Draymond Green. So their secret weapon, quote unquote, Andre Iguodala was already in the game to start. So they couldn't bring in a secret weapon. They didn't have one. Second thing was LeBron James and Kyrie Irving both just went into attack mode. They said, listen, forget all this passing to these guys who are ineffective, not doing anything. Still to this point, I still feel LeBron James passed up a few opportunities where he could have attacked on offense, where he could have just went and just attacked, but he didn't do it. He passed to people where the Cavs ended up not getting a good shot, or him having to force up some shot late in the shot clock, or him throwing a pass that ended up somebody else turning it over, taking a dumb shot that had no chance of going in. But he still ended up with 7 assists, 16 and 30 from the floor, and they got it done. The main thing for the Cavs was they brought the defensive intensity. They brought the defensive intensity to this game that they hadn't had the previous game. And it seemed also like, to me, and y'all can tell me what y'all think, it seemed like the Cavaliers had the mental edge this game. It seemed like just edge-wise, they had it with them this game without Draymond Green in for the Warriors. Draymond Green is the mental, what do we call it? He's like the mental leader or the emotional leader is what the analysts usually say. And that is pretty much what he is. He's the emotional leader. The edge Draymond brings mentally gives the Warriors their swagger. Not despite the fact that they have all the skill. I'm not discounting the skill, but as you can see, they had skill tonight. Without Draymond, they had 2 All-Stars out there. They had Andre Iguodala out there, and they still it didn't really seem like they were ever in control or even about to be in control of that game. They were always kind of trying to play catch up to the Cleveland Cavaliers, so they didn't have that mental edge. The Cavs had the mental edge tonight. LeBron seemed much more focused tonight, maybe because he didn't have to deal with Draymond Green. Not to say Andre Iguodala is not a great player, but Draymond Green, again, is that mental thing Draymond brings on top of the physical skills that he brings to the table. So as far as what's going to happen next, the Warriors will have Draymond Green back next game, but the game's going to be in Cleveland. Cavs had their home crowd there, and the Cavs know, that if they can win this one more game, Game 6 in Cleveland, now everything's off the table. Now it's just one game, Game 7, to see who's going to be the champions of the NBA. I don't know about you, but that's what I want to see. I want to see a Game 7. I want to see the Cavaliers and the Warriors in the Warriors' house, Oracle Arena, for a Game 7. But the only way we're going to get there is the Cavs got to win Game 6. Now, the Warriors are going to have Draymond back, but again, like I said, they're going to be on the road. The Cavs know they just got to win this one game. They got the momentum from going into Oracle and beating the Warriors on their home floor, a place where they lost, like, how many times this year? Twice, 3 times all year. They got a chance to, not counting let's say even counting the playoffs, I think they lost less than 5 times all year at home. Now, the Cavs have a little bit of momentum. LeBron James got his W. He kind of shut up a lot of the people who was his detractors who were calling him a baby, saying he needed to man up, or saying he was whining too much, or LeBron's a bitch, or we got to talk about that in a minute too. So he quieted some people down because he went and won the game after that whole thing happened. Doesn't change the fact that it happened, but he won the game after that happened. I think now with the momentum that the Cavaliers have, and the fact that the Warriors are like, okay, they beat us without our all-star, this is a tough call. Game 6 is a tough call. If it was in Golden State, I say, just like tonight, if Game 5 had Draymond, I would have said Warriors are winning this. The series is over. They're going to close them out. This Game 6, if it was in Golden State, I say I think the Warriors can still win because they got Draymond back. But on the road, I got to go with just again, my pick was Cavs in 6. The Cavs can't win in 6. And that's why I said I figured the Warriors are going to close it out in 5. But now that it's going Game 6 at home, I want to see, I'm going to tell you what I want to see. I'm not even going to make a prediction. What I want to see is the Cavs win. I want to see the Cavs win because I want to see a Game 7. I want to see Game 7 in Golden State with all the Warriors fans jumping on LeBron's back, jumping on Kyrie's back, the home crowd going crazy, them having their entire team, as long as Draymond don't do nothing crazy in Game 6 when he gets reinstated, and us get to see a Game 7 in the NBA Finals. That's what I want to see. I don't know what y'all want to see. That's what I want to see. Now, I do know, one thing I do know, actually, before I even get to that, let's talk about the LeBron comment with Draymond Green. He said he was going back and forth with Draymond in Game 4. Was that Game 4? Game 5. Was it Game 4? Game 4. Game 4. He's going back and forth with Draymond because Draymond said something disrespectful that he didn't like. And somehow, some way it got out that Draymond said you a bitch. I don't know how that got out. The article that I read said LeBron was talking to some reporter who he trusts, I guess. And the reporter asked him, what exactly did Draymond say? And LeBron told him that Draymond said, you a bitch. And he said, I'm a man. I got a wife. I got kids. You're not going to talk to me like that. Whatever. I don't know if that is actually what happened. I didn't hear the quote. I didn't see it quoted by LeBron James, but that's what they said. He said, first of all, I have no idea how LeBron James could get upset with Draymond for saying that when that's like the normal go-to thing that people say when they really can't think of nothing else to say. They're like, you're a bitch. And that could be on the court or off the court, at least in the environment that myself, somebody like LeBron, or somebody like Draymond Green, a lot of basketball players come from. They can't really think of nothing else to say. They're like, oh, you're a bitch. And if you let that bother you, then come on. I don't know how that's possible for LeBron, because I know that's not the first time somebody said that to LeBron James in the NBA, because LeBron's not a big trash talker. He's a target of damn near every team he plays against. So I know it's not the first time he's heard that from another player. So why he would go at Draymond for saying it when I know it's not the first time someone said it to him, doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, who cares? Doesn't really matter, but I did want to address that, why that would even be the thing. I don't know why LeBron would even tell a reporter that he said that, because obviously it's going to get out. People are going to start talking about it, and now it's going to be like the go-to thing. Now players just going to say that to him because they think either it's going to get them attention from their teammates, attention from the fans, or something. Obviously, it doesn't make LeBron play worse because you saw how he played in Game 5. So it doesn't. Obviously, it's not something that's going to get in his head and make him not play his game, because him and Kyrie Irving were the best 2 players on the floor tonight, despite the fact that Draymond had said what he said, supposedly. And Draymond seems like the kind of dude who's just going to say anything. He's just going to keep saying stuff till he finds something that gets a response. It's just the type of player he is. And again, it works for him and it also works against him. In this instance, it wasn't even what he said that got him suspended. It was the flagrants. 3 times he got flagrant fouls, twice for hitting people in the nuts. I don't know what's up with the hitting people in the nuts thing. He needs to chill with all that. But anyway, moving forward, after the first 2 games of this series, when I was doing these recaps here on YouTube, a bunch of Warriors fans said, all right, Warriors going to sweep them or the Warriors in 5. 98% of people who I heard commenting after the first 2 games of this series said it's going to be a sweep or the Warriors going to win in 5. So now that we go into a Game 6, I don't want to hear anybody talking about who they call was going to win this series and how many games, because 98% of y'all, actually that's probably generous, 99% of y'all, 99% of us, because I picked the Cavs to win in 6. That's not going to happen either. 99% of people who predicted this series said it was going to be Warriors in 5, Warriors in 6. Now, some of you, very small percentage of you said the Cavs was going to win, possibly in 7. That's the only way they can still win. And a few people said Warriors in 6 or 7, but 98% was Warriors in 4 or 5. So I don't want to hear anybody telling me what they picked before the series, because no, you didn't. So anyway, moving forward, we got the Cavaliers and the Warriors, Game 6, Thursday night. I just want to see the Cavs win because I want to see Game 7, not because I'm invested in the Cavs winning. I ain't bet no money on this series, and probably most of you didn't either. So let's have a good basketball game. Let's see the Cavaliers send us to Game 7, because that's what I want to see. I want to see a Game 7 NBA, the best players out there, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond, Iguodala, LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, everybody else. Kevin Love, if he decides to show up, they decide to give him the ball, he got to show up too. Let's put that out there. He probably ain't going to get the ball that much. I'd rather see Kyrie and LeBron show than the Kevin Love show. That's all I got to say. I think I've addressed every single thing. Is there anything that I haven't addressed? I think I've addressed everything. Nobody else really made that much of an impact in this game. This really was like a 2-on-2. It was really a 2-on-2. LeBron and Kyrie against Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, with a little bit of a cameo from Andre Iguodala, and the Cavaliers won it. That's pretty much all there is to it. That's the whole story. So y'all tell me what y'all think. Do y'all think is going to happen in Game 6? Who do you think is going to win Game 6? Why are they going to win Game 6? And please don't come in here telling me you picked the Warriors to win in 6. No, you didn't. All y'all said they was going to sweep them after the first 2 games. I don't want to hear it. Let's just enjoy good basketball for this last 1 or 2 games we got of the entire NBA season until next year. Everybody, let me know what you think down there in the comments. Y'all know what to do. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com. What could you not do with more confidence? Less attention to the negativity of other people. More focus on your goals than nothing else, and not letting unfortunate circumstances slow you down. Would all of those help you out? Well, go to DreAllDay.com/bulletproof. Check out my new 8-week course called Bulletproof Mindset. Get started, and I'll see you over there. Work on your. If you're on Snapchat, hit me on the Snap. My Snap name is @Dre Baldwin. You already know how that works. And I got a podcast, if you didn't know. It is called Work on Your Game. It is an everyday podcast where I talk about getting yourself into the right mindset, that bulletproof mindset. Getting yourself seen, heard, known. Getting the exposure you want and making things happen in your life instead of waiting for things to happen to or for you. Subscribe to that podcast when you're on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. Make sure you check it every single day. Make sure you're subscribed so you catch the heat. Work on your game. Dre Ball. I feel like Dre Ball. When I feel like Dre Ball. I'm ballin'. I feel like Dre